in this video I'm gonna tell you about the perfect itinerary for 1, 2, 3 or 4 days in Milan, an incredible city in Italy. Many people include it in their itinerary along with Rome, Florence and Venice. It's an itinerary we always recommend, a basic itinerary through Italy. Milan is very cool. Here we'll explain what you can do on the first day, in the second day, all organized and optimized, nearby tours by region so you don't waste any travel time, and with all the tips: where to buy tickets, what you need the ticket for, how much it costs, how to get around, everything you need to put together your itinerary. So don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to the channel and buckle up. Hey guys, for those who don't know me, I'm Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the Grupo Dicas, the largest travel content network in the world. And today we're gonna talk about Milan, the fashion capital of the world, almost rivaling Paris, but Italy's fashion capital is a very cool place to visit. Milan is nice because when you do the itinerary for Italy, we have complete videos. If you don't know the itinerary yet, you can find it here. Itinerary through Italy, put it on YouTube, Lorenzi's Italy itinerary, Lorenzi's Tuscany itinerary, Lorenzi Amalfi Coast itinerary. There is all of Italy, but for the basics, the main thing, we always recommend Milan. The cool thing is that Rome is a very old city. You get a real sense of Italy's history. Milan is the most modern city in Italy. You see beautiful buildings, constructions. It's a bit different, but it still retains a lot of Italian history and culture. So there's a lot to do. Let's get started with the tips. First thing, how many days to stay in Milan? It's difficult because everyone has different tastes. Some people love Milan and stay several days. In my opinion, compared to other cities, I think 2 to 3 days in Milan is fine. Could you stay longer? Yes, but there are so many great cities in Italy to spend more time in. There is Tuscany, the little towns, Rome, Florence, Venice. So I always try to spread it out, but I think 2 to 3 days is ideal. And it's all very centralized, so you find that you stay well, you'll be able to do everything easily. The tourist attractions aren't as far away as in other cities in Italy. But don't worry, we're gonna talk about 1, 2 and 3 days, then you can choose how many days you want to stay. So let's go. The first day in Milan, what to do. When you get there, the first thing you have to do is go to Piazza Del Duomo. Almost every city in Italy has a Piazza Del Duomo, which is the city's main square, and it's in the Piazza Del Duomo that you find Milan's Cathedral, one of the most important icons in Italian history. So it's worth going inside, visiting it, having a look, because it's really cool. There are some attractions inside that you have to pay to see some works, some exclusive things that we don't see the need for, but leaving the cathedral, you can go up to the terrace. I think it's worth it. You can take the elevator or the stairs. I think the stairs are good, but even the elevator has a long queue. I saw a huge queue and we didn't go in the elevator. The stairs are a bit tiring because it's so high, but the view is beautiful. I think it's worth a visit and it's cheap. And for all these attractions throughout Italy, most of them require a ticket. Rome, almost everything you need. The Colosseum, the Roman Forum, the Vatican museums, all the attractions require a ticket. Our tip is to always buy in advance. Why is that? Because there are huge queues. If you leave it too late, you lose an hour, sometimes even more. The Colosseum, I've seen a queue of 2.5 hours and you pay the international payment tax with the fee there. There are several ways of buying tickets in advance, which are much cheaper. You save time and money. I'll leave you with the website we use to buy all of our tours and tickets, guys. It's a very good website. It's the leading one in Europe and it has prices in several currencies. I think it's great. The way you save on fees that you'd pay if you bought with a card and in euros at the time, so it's already a saving. It's already cheaper than at the ticket office. It's a very nice website, so check them out. It has all the tours, tickets, excursions to Tuscany towns, wineries, you name it. Take a look and you like it. And down here in the description of the video there is a link that I've let separate and organized all the websites we use to organize our trips anywhere in the world. These are the places we already know have the best prices, the best place that sells the cheapest travel SIM cards, the travel insurance that's mandatory for Europe. There's a website where you can find half prices. It's really real. Car rental at unbeatable prices, car rental comparison tool, the train ticket website that's very common in Europe, the global digital account so you can save a lot on buying foreign currency, in this case euros for Italy. So take a look, The hotels we stayed in are all listed city by city, so use the link below, guys. Organize your trip with it. You'll be able to enjoy your trip much more and get much better prices with trustworthy companies. And leaving the main square, Milan's main cathedral, you see a very imposing statue. Do some research because it's worth it. I won't go into the history too much, otherwise the video will be too long. I'll tell you the points, but later when you're there, do some research with your cell phone because it's really cool to understand the history. You see that a lot of people take pictures in front, and then right in front you see one of the icons that I think it's the coolest. For me, it's the identity of Milan, which is the Vittorio Emanuele second gallery. It's a very cool gallery and it's considered one of the most beautiful and historic shopping malls in the world. It's mostly designer stores. There are a few that you can pick up at good prices, but it's much more of a place for strolling around. It's very cool. Walk around inside, get to know the architecture. You see that the lighting is natural because the ceiling is all glass. It's worth taking a walk there, have a coffee, relax. Even if it's a very sunny day, it's nice because it's cooler there. Or if it's very cold, you can warm up a bit, so it's kind of strategic and a nice stop for you to get to know. It's really an amazing place and I recommend you visit. When you pass it, leave the Piazza del Duomo and come out in the Piazza della Scala. It's a very lively square. You see that there's a bit more life in it. You see that there are lots of artists, lots of people. If you try to eat there, you see that it's a bit more expensive. Whenever you eat around these squares, the price will be almost double. Maybe not double, but it will be much more expensive than if you walk 2 blocks in and out of this tourist area. But I think that in this square, it's worth spending a little more to sit there, watch the movement, take pictures and relax. We had a very nice lunch there, and that's where you find the Teatro alla Scala, a very beautiful and very famous theater with concerts and operas. If you want to visit, you can take a guided tour. You can find it on the website we mentioned below, but I think it varies a lot from taste to taste. If you like this kind of attraction, it's beautiful, it's a place worth visiting. If you don't like it, I think it's worth just walking past the square and exploring more of the areas. Returning to Piazza del Duomo, you come another very nice Piazza del Mercanti, where the Regent's Palace is located. The Italian names are difficult, so prepare yourself, but you can manage, even if you don't speak English or Italian. Even though I'm Gabriel Lorenzi, I don't speak any Italian, but you can manage very well. Sometimes they shout at you, but it's normal, you don't get offended. Italians do shout at people, they do talk like that, but the language thing was pretty easy. We didn't find any language barriers in the tour. And then you go to Via Mercante, a very famous street, a well-known street with lots of stores. There you'll find some very nice faces, clothes stores. You can walk around, there's a restaurant, there's a cafe. It's a good place to stop and recover your energy. And at the end of this road, you'll find the Sforzesco Castle, which also has the Sempione Park. There are 2 very nice attractions. You can choose the order in which you want to do them, one first and then the other, but I think it's very worthwhile. And the castle has some museums inside that I find very interesting. They're worth a visit. There are some really cool things, so it's a tour that will easily take up another 2 or 3 hours of your day. It's a beautiful place and well worth a visit. And then in the late afternoon, you'll be tired, have some coffee and energy drink, there's still something to do. You're going to visit the Fashion Quadrilateral. It's one of the most important areas in the world of fashion. It has the main designer stores, the most expensive stores of all those brands you know. You can get a sense of them from the pictures alone. It's no joke. There the prices are high and there's all the latest from all these luxury brands. It's a very cool place where fashion events from all over the world take place, so it's a very nice place to walk around and get to know. It's called a quadrilateral because it's a region. I'll put a map here for you to see. It's made up of several streets, but it's really nice. And now for the second day in Milan. On your second day there, you go to the Monumental Cemetery. Yes, there is a cemetery. The 2 cemeteries I've seen that are touristy are Recoleta in Argentina and this one, but it's worth it. It's a cemetery, but it has been transformed into an open-air museum. There are many works of art, sculptures, lots of cool things to see, but it's a little further away from the center, so just do your research beforehand. You can go by Uber, you can go by public transportation, just research beforehand. From there, you visit the beautiful and incredible Church of Santa Maria delle Grazie. It's a very beautiful church and it's close to the metro exit. If you want, you can take the metro. If not, you can take an Uber or walk. The church is interesting, but what's really cool there, which I think is worth booking, you need to book it on their website first, it's Leonardo da Vinci Last Supper, which is the original. It's very beautiful. It's a really nice experience, but you have to book in advance. If you don't, you can't see it. It used to be free. I don't know if it's paying now, so go to their official website, just Google it, and it's pretty easy to find, and then you can schedule your visit. If you don't do it, you can't see. Another church that's nice to visit when you're there is the Basilica of St. Ambrose. You see that in Italy there are lots of churches, lots of things to see, so if you're interested, do some research because there are more churches that I'm talking about. If you're not so interested, eliminate them from your itinerary, leaving the main ones, but there are a lot of churches and they are all beautiful, well worth a visit. If you're passing by, go in quickly to see them because each one has a very different architecture and a very different interior design. The second day is already very full and you'll be very tired. If you still have the energy to go for a walk, look for a nice square near your hotel, or if you want to, there are some nice walks to do. There's the visit to San Lorenzi Maggiore, which is a very nice walk. It's a very beautiful place, and there's a canal tour along the river that runs through the city. So these are the tours that you can include. They're nice. If you still have the energy on the second day, you can do it. And for getting around, if you stay well in the places we recommend, check out the hotels we stayed in. We have a personalized map here on the link with the best region. If you stay in this area, you can do almost everything on foot on the first day. On the second day, maybe you can take an Uber or two, which is cheap but not too much, or even take the metro. We didn't even need the metro. We walked a lot. We did need to use Uber a couple of times, so we called it. It works normally. We paid 10 euros, 12 euros there, so we didn't even have to venture into the subways because the metro seems nice, but when you're there, everything is different. The language, the places, the stations, it's not that easy. A lot of people can get lost, so avoid getting lost. We end up either walking a lot or taking an Uber for time to time. That's no problem at all. And then for a third day in Milan, I think you've already seen the main sites of the city and you can either repeat the main sites, the Piazza Del Duomo, the Vittorio Emanuele gallery, enjoy it with a bit perspective because you won't be rushing around so much, have a nice lunch, go to a nice restaurant, have some coffee, see things in a different way, go into streets you haven't been in before, or you can go to a small town nearby. There are several towns near Milan. Verona is close by and it's very pretty. It's a nice little town to visit. On the tickets and excursions websites, there are several excursions. You enter Milan, they have several excursions that pick you up and take you on a guided tour, which is really nice. Have a look. There are several options for you to fit into this third day of your trip. And if you want, there are videos just like this one of Rome, Florence, and Venice. I'm talking about all of them, so there's no shortage of stuff for Italy. It's all here on the channel. Take a look, plan ahead because it's a place that needs planning and it's one of our favorites in the world. And that's it, guys. I hope you like it. If you like it, please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to watch the other two videos I'm going to put up here, which are very important for you to organize your entire trip while saving as much as possible on everything. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much and have nice trips.